Hey everybody, how you doing out there? Chewie891 here, coming at you, I believe, with episode 3 of Chewie's Bodega. Here to talk to you today about the Green Bay Packers and what's going on. We had a lot of news come out this week. First off, let's start with, the big win on Sunday, beating the Tennessee Titans, which is huge. Did not expect that at all. They put a whooping on them, actually. I believe the score was like 40-14 or some nonsense like that. I don't remember off the top of my head right now what that score was. But, huge win for the Green Bay Packers on Sunday, which basically lines them up for the 1 seed going forward. They do need to beat the Chicago Bears this week, and they don't need much help. I mean, it would help if the New Orleans Saints or the Seattle Seahawks just end up losing their games. But right now, what you want to do, you want to lock it up. So just get the win. I mean, they get the win, they get it. So it's kind of lining up how I saw it happening when the New York Giants. No, sorry, when the who beat the Saints? When the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Saints a couple of weeks ago. That was a huge loss for the Saints. I said the minute they lost that game, I'm like, they're not beating Kansas City that next week. So this is basically a straightforward. This is basically all the Packers have to do is just maintain. In my opinion, all they had to do is win 2 out of 3. I did not factor in Seattle having a shot at the 1 seed, but apparently they have a shot at the 1 seed if the Packers and Saints lose. Well, I think if the Packers lose, if the Saints and Seattle, I believe if the Saints are okay, if New Orleans and Seattle wins, I believe because of the conference record, I believe Seattle takes the 1 seed. I think that's how I was reading it. So Seattle has a shot at it too. I wish they lost last week. So right now the Packers will clinch the 1 seed. They could have at least rested today, especially with the news that we got yesterday, which is very, very devastating. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, the Packers beat the Titans 40-14. They held, they held Derrick Henry under 100 yards, which is shocking to me, especially in a snow game. I thought he would get a lot of yards. I didn't think they had an answer to stop him. I thought this game would be a lot closer. But the Packers did their thing, man, and they beat the Tennessee Titans this year. That's awesome. The game I did not feel comfortable with them winning. I did have them winning 2 out of 3 games. When the Saints lost to the Eagles, I saw the next 3 or 4 games, I believe, at the time, and I said I think the Packers can go, the last 3 games, they can go 2 out of 3, and they can get the 1 seed. I thought they would either lose this game or for some reason fumble the 1 in Chicago, which, yeah, we'll talk about that. But anyways, I'm excited. But on to news from yesterday. David Bakhtiari tore his ACL, and it's huge, man. That is a huge loss for the Green Bay Packers. I was in total shock yesterday after just hearing that news, man, on New Year's Eve. He is the best left tackle in football. And if you know anything about football, I mean, the left tackle is a very, very, very important position. And that loss is just, it's huge, man. I hope that right now that offensive line was struggling when Bakhtiari went out a couple games this year. You saw the Tampa Bay game after he went out. I mean, they just struggled with their defensive line, and Rodgers just had no time to throw the football or anything. This is going to be scary, especially going into the Chicago game. I mean, they got Khalil Mack. The Chicago Bears do have a very good defensive line. They can generate some pressure, and I believe Khalil Mack might have I'm hoping he doesn't, but with Bakhtiari being out, he might have a career game. I hope he doesn't. I hope Rodgers lights them up. But I mean, this is going to be week 17 against the Bears. I thought the Packers could win that game pretty convincingly with all the pieces they had. But with the loss of Bakhtiari, I think the game's going to get a lot closer now. I don't see them winning big. I do see them winning a very tight-knit game. It's going to come down to the wire, somewhere along the lines of maybe 27-24, 27-21, something like that. I don't see it's just going to be a tough game, man, with Bakhtiari out. They're going to have a hard time stopping Khalil Mack. Maybe I hope I'm wrong. I hope that offensive line gets it together. I think Billy Turner is moving from right tackle to left tackle, and we'll see what happens there. Because honestly, this year, this offensive line for the Green Bay Packers, I believe this is Aaron Rodgers' best offensive line. Man, I would say since like 2014, this has probably been one of his better offensive line. I mean, he's barely been sacked this year. I mean, let me just look up the numbers right quick. I don't even think. I still remember years where Aaron Rodgers was getting sacked like 50 times and 40 times and all this stuff in his younger years. I mean, this year he's barely getting touched. You're seeing the results. When you give a quarterback like him enough time in the pocket and his jersey isn't dirty, he's going to put up a lot of points. He's going to throw for a lot of passing yards. He's going to throw for a lot of touchdowns. He's going to have a lot of success. Let's see here. I'm looking at the numbers at the moment. But yeah, I mean, the offensive line is playing out of its mind this year. And with just keeping Rodgers upright, let's look at the total here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 7. That's that game. See, that Tampa Bay game is where he got sacked 4 times. So right now we got 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 16, 17. He's been sacked 17 times this year. That has got to be a career low for Aaron Rodgers. I can't remember the last time he got sacked anywhere near under 20. So that, man, and I mean, that's huge. I mean, again, it looks like the bahktiari loss is gonna be huge. I think they can overcome it, but that is huge, man. With bahktiari, I like our chances to keep the 1 seed and get to the Super Bowl. I like our path to the Super Bowl with everybody coming to Lambeau Field. I hope and pray that happens. I want Aaron Rodgers for the first time in his career to host an NFC Championship game. He hasn't hosted one all year. Every single NFC Championship game he's played in, he has been on the road. Okay? He's never hosted an NFC Championship game. I would like to see Aaron host at least one in his career here in Green Bay. And I think if the road goes to Green Bay, I think they have a clear shot to win the NFC and get to the Super Bowl. I'm hoping, I'm praying. I would love to see it, Packers. Personally, my Super Bowl pick right now, right now I would like to see Green Bay, Kansas City in the Super Bowl. I think that's going to be one hell of a football game, high-scoring football game, old gun against young gun. You got Mahomes and Rodgers, Andy Reid playing against his old organization as well in the Green Bay Packers, because he was a Holmgren guy back in the day. If you guys didn't know that, he was on Holmgren's staff during the 5 years and everything. Andy Reid is just one hell of a coach. But I'd love to see that this year. But yeah, I mean, man, that bahktiari really killed me yesterday. He was having a career year too. I mean, he was playing out of his mind. He clearly took the spot as the best left tackle in football. And it just sucks, man. And right at the end of 2022, I mean, it's been that kind of year. We'll see what happens, man. I hope he recovers. I mean, that recovery time is going to be lengthy. I know it's about 6 to 9 months, probably. I mean, the time that it happened to. I mean, he can miss a good amount of time next year too. That's the other thing as well. You have to keep that in mind. So you get to think about it's about maybe a 6-month recovery. So if he starts recovery sometime next month, he probably will maybe get out of recovery in July. Then he'd have to get cleared and all this. It's going to be hell for him to get back on the field by September. I can see him getting back by maybe November next year or something. That's wishful thinking. Maybe October. Maybe the recovery process is a lot faster for him for some reason. I don't know. But the timing of it is just, it sucks, man. December. Just absolutely terrible. So right now, also another news with the Packers too. They have picked up Snacks Harrison. Snacks Harrison has had a weird year with the Packers. Were interested in him a couple of months ago. It was between him and Seattle. I thought Seattle got him. I don't know what's happened there. Next thing you know, I think he's on waivers and the Packers get him back. I don't know what's going on with his deal. They did an interview with him, I believe, sometime this week. And he was saying something about the COVID protocols. He didn't fully trust the NFL's COVID protocols, and then he saw it, I guess, get implemented or whatever, and he trusted it, and then all of a sudden signed with the team. I don't know. It's a weird deal, but I like that we have him here in Green Bay. I hope he gets to play. It's going to be with the defensive line a little bit. I hope he can catch on pretty fast to Pettin's system. And because he's only going to get a couple of games here. Now, here's the best part. This is the other reason why we need that bye as well, is to get Snacks Harrison acclimated into the defense, right? So what we need to happen here is we need to beat Chicago, clinch the 1 seed, and then from there we get that bye. Snacks can go ahead and get in practice and learn the system and get comfortable with it, and I think he's going to help out the defensive line a lot. So that's another important reason. But this game this week is huge, man. It's really a lot on the line. I don't like the Packers' chances going on the road as a 2 or 3 seed. Personally, it's just my opinion. I do like them at home. I know they lost this year to the Minnesota Vikings. I think that was a blip on the radar. But it's a divisional game. Divisional games are for some reason, they just weird things happen in those games. I mean, they're always close, even if the team is really bad. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, this is huge, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's Packers Bears. Bears got to win to get in. I mean, this is going to be this might be game of the week too. I mean, Bears have to win. I mean, they've turned their season around too. A couple of weeks ago, I gave them some crap about, I believe, what game was it? I think it was against Minnesota or something. They were up by like 10 or 20. I don't know what it was. All of a sudden, they just came back and lost. They made some weird decisions on fourth down or whatever. And it's just to come back from that and to be competing for a playoff spot is impressive. I am impressed with the Bears team as much as I don't like them. I'm a Packer fan, whatever. I am impressed with what they've done so far. They have a chance to go in the playoffs, and they made this game mean something. They could have literally folded the rest of the year. They could have lost some games and just said to hell with the season, move on with Trubisky, move on with Nagy, whatever. I'm pretty sure they're gonna move on from Matt Nagy. That's what I would do, and I would make a decision on Trubisky. Me personally, I'm not super sold on Trubisky. The Bears really, really screwed up that draft pick. I don't understand why they took Mitchell Trubisky with that second pick overall or whatever it was when they traded up. They should have grabbed Deshaun Watson. That was a no-brainer pick for me. Granted, if you have hindsight now, you obviously take Patrick Mahomes. But at that point in time, Deshaun Watson came off of a national championship victory, and played him, and he was very, very impressive. And I don't understand why the Bears didn't look at that and say, "Hey, we need to bring him in." It's just weird to me. It was an easy decision in my head. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is, though. They don't. We'll see. I mean, they got a lot on the line this week. I mean, the Bears can. Let's see what happens, man. Let's see how badly they want to be in the playoffs. It's going to be a really good game. I wouldn't have it any way. It's Packers Bears. Number 1 seed is going to be decided, and the Bears' playoffs hopes are going to be decided as well. So now, from there, another news today, Alvin Kamara tested positive for COVID right now. That's a big hit to the New Orleans Saints right now. I mean, he just had a really, 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 really great game. If you played against him in fantasy football, you hate Alvin. Not hate Alvin Kamara, but you hate people who had Alvin Kamara that week. I mean, 6 touchdowns in that game. He was just playing completely out of his mind. And he was just insane. And just to get the news, especially off a game like that, and getting COVID, it sucks, man. I mean, it's a huge blow to New Orleans. Me as a Packer fan, clearly, I'm like, yeah, kind of, not really. I mean, COVID sucks, right? But right now, his doubts and this is how serious it's gotten. I mean, right now, he's not playing this week. So that's. And who are the Saints playing this week? Let me take a look at that for a second. They're not playing this week. They have a chance to lose this game. If they lose this game, I mean, Packers got it. They got that 1 seed. But then they need Seattle to lose. Mr. Integrity. They're playing against the Panthers at road. They can beat the Panthers on the road without Kamara. But we'll see. It's a divisional game. Weird things have happened in the NFL. So, yeah, I mean, that's a huge. And then right now, the news out of this is that I believe he's failed this test twice. So right now, I mean, they're saying his doubts for a playoff. I mean, they're probably doubting him to play in their playoff game. So if they end up getting the 2 seed and having to play next week, they're saying Kamara might not play, and that is huge for them. They're going to have to depend on Drew Brees. I mean, their running game for New Orleans is amazing. Alvin Kamara is a stud, and then Michael Thomas has missed a whole bunch of time. He's expected to return from injured reserve. He has not had a good year. He has been injury prone all year. I mean, after having a phenomenal season last year, he won me a fantasy football championship last year with the way he played. And yeah, he's been banged up all year, man. And the timing with Drew Brees, I mean, it just doesn't seem to be there right now. So I don't know, man. I mean, the other thing is too, if they get the 2 seed with how this is played out. Let's take a look at the standings for a second. Hold on. We're going to go by conference. So, right now, 1, 2. Let's see if Saints hit the 2 seed. They'll play 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They would play Arizona at home. Arizona, I think they could beat them without Alvin Kamara, but that's a dangerous team to play without a running game right now. To slow the game down and stuff like that, man. Arizona's got some firepower, man. That young kid, Calamari. I mean, right now, with how everything's standing, right now they're in the playoffs. they would end up playing Arizona. The two would play the 7th seed at that point in time. At least that's how, because one extra team gets in. There's only one bye. You're right. So the Saints would have to play Arizona that next week, and that's gonna be a tough one, man. I mean, I would pick New Orleans in that game to win, but that could be an upset. You know what I mean? Like the Arizona Cardinals are nothing to snuff about, man. I mean, I know they've had their ups and downs, but they're a young team. They're 8-7. They're competing for a playoff spot right now. Kyler Murray is the real deal. They have DeAndre Hopkins. Larry Fitzgerald is still playing well. They should have a running game because last year Kenyon Drake was playing out of his mind, and now this year all of a sudden the Arizona Cardinals have just, I don't understand. I don't get their team at all. They don't want to run the ball or anything like that to help out Kyler Murray. Apparently they love the formula of having him run in touchdowns and take whatever. We'll see though, but that is a dangerous game to play for anybody. I mean, for Green Bay, no, because they have to travel. Seattle, that's a scary game for Seattle as well. Seattle's played them 2 times this year already, and both games, I think they won both games, I believe, if I remember correctly. But I think both games were contested, right? I mean, they were pretty close. Yeah, I mean, right here, they beat Arizona 28-21, and then the year earlier, they lost to Arizona 37-34. So, I mean, they don't want to play Arizona either, you know? So, I mean, a lot riding on this game this week, guys, for the Green Bay Packers. A lot riding on this game. The 1 seed's important. Having the bye is important. Losing bahktiari this week. I hope the team gathers. I hope they play strong. You know what I mean? I hope this injury doesn't get them down. I hope this injury doesn't, lower the morale of the team or anything like that. And I hope they just play through it and come out with the win this week. And I have them winning this week, but like I said, it's going to be highly contested. It's going to be a contested game. It's going to be a 3 to 6 point game. It's going to be a close game, guys. Do not be shocked if the Packers don't blow them out. This will be a close game. Mark my words. If it is a blowout, the Packers blow them out, okay, y'all shut my mouth. But I think this is going to be a close game. It's a rivalry. The bahktiari thing is huge. I mean, I think that defensive line is going to get to Aaron Rodgers this year. I mean, in this game because they're in Chicago and no bahktiari. It's gonna be a scary game. But we'll see. I'm excited for it. I can't wait, man. I believe it's a 3:25 game. And here's the thing, also. So the NFL this week, I believe they flexed some games over. So now, we're not gonna find out if the Packers have the 1 seed until they win this game, right? So the NFL did that. They said, okay, we're going to move New Orleans to the 325. I believe they moved New Orleans to the 325 spot. And then they moved, and I believe Seattle, San Francisco was always there at that 325 spot. I think Seattle can lose this game to San Francisco, okay? San Francisco has surprised some teams this year in beating them. They've pulled off some upsets with Nick Mullins and stuff. And I believe George Kittle is back, which is weird. The other guy that killed me in my fantasy this year, by the way. But George Kittle's back. Nick Mullins, I mean, they've done some crazy things in San Francisco. If they want to be my friends this week, this is one of the San Francisco 49ers are my, I believe my uncle and my grandfather's favorite team. So if they want to help me out this week, that'd be great. I really would appreciate it. And if they could beat Seattle, man, would love it. Would love it. Every single minute of it. But that's a game they could lose. That Seattle can lose. They could pull off the upset. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, the Seahawks have lost some weird games this year, too. That's another weird team. They don't have much of a defense. It's all on Russell Wilson, and he's having a hard time trying to get the ball to DK Metcalf, which killed me in the league, too. I know I keep mentioning that, but these are the... I should have gotten at least second this year in my fantasy football league, and I didn't. So, it is what it is. So... We're looking at the Niners. I mean, they beat the Cardinals this year 20-12, which is shocking, at Arizona. I mean, I did not pick them to win that game at all. They beat the Rams at Los Angeles. They've had some pretty crazy wins. They beat the Rams twice this year. I mean, the Niners can pull off an upset here, and that would really make me happy as a Packer fan if they could do it. But we'll see. Because right now, if the whole thing hinges on, let's say if the Packers lose, Saints win, Seattle loses. Packers get the 1 seed. If the Packers lose, Seattle, I believe, wins, I think if New Orleans wins, and I think if Seattle wins, I think Seattle jumps because of the conference record or something like that. They're all tied, and Seattle would have the conference record or something like that, and they would jump to the 1 seed. I really don't want to go to Seattle. I know the 12th man isn't there this year because of COVID, but still, going to Seattle sucks. It really does suck, and I really don't want to repeat 2014 at all. Not that Seattle team is as good as this one. It's not. I'm just saying. Bad memories there. Okay? Bad memories. And yes, I have rewatched that game. It makes me sick every time I watch it. So, yeah. Very exciting games this weekend. Wanted to get this out there and talk about this. I know I've been a little lazy with my episodes for the podcast. I will be more consistent lately. This episode was supposed to be talking about the first episode of Monday Nitro, but I have to get in touch with my buddy who we're supposed to do that episode with, because that first episode of Monday Night Nitro for WCW, wow, there's a lot to talk about there. Let me tell you. Anyways, guys, so that'll be the next episode actually of Chewie's Bodega. We're gonna talk about that first episode of Monday Night Nitro. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to get this episode out there, talk about the news that's been happening this week. Green Bay Packers, very exciting. I'm hoping to get the 1 seed this week. Bad news with Dave Bakhtiari. I'm hoping they can overcome this and do some great things this year. We'll see what happens. Alvin Kamara getting COVID, that's huge as well. He could possibly miss 2 games. He's definitely missing this one for sure. And he could possibly be missing the first playoff game, depending on what happens over the weekend. So that is a huge loss for the New Orleans Saints. All right, anyways, guys, I'm out. That's Chewie 891. I'm done with the episode 3 here. Just talk about the Packers and NFL this weekend. You guys enjoy the football games. The next episode will definitely be about the Monday Night Nitro episode. So stay tuned for that. That should be fun. All right, guys. Anyways, guys, I'm out. If you guys, like the video if you like the video. Dislike the video if you dislike the video. Subscribe to my channel. We'll be getting these episodes out. I do a lot more other stuff as well. I do talk about One Piece. We'll be talking about Chapter 1000, but that will be on Monday when the official release comes out, or Tuesday. I don't remember. I also play Marvel Crisis Protocol as well. I do talk about that game every now and then. I've been slacking on the content there, but I will be getting back into that. And anything gaming I get into, I talk about. But I do love talking about sports and everything like that. So anyways, guys, definitely have a wonderful day. Enjoy the video. Like I said, like the video, dislike the video, subscribe to my channel. I will come back with you with more content. And you guys have an awesome day. Stay safe out there, guys. Have a good one. Bye.